The scarlet steam engine billowed, a crimson giant against the bustling backdrop of platform 9 3/4. Families huddled, their goodbyes echoing amidst the excited chatter and the clatter of trunks on cobblestones. It was a familiar scene, a comforting ritual that had once held the promise of escape, of magic and adventure. But for Harry this year it felt different. The air was thick with the sweet sorrow of goodbyes, a bittersweet symphony that tugged at his heart. He watched as younger students, their faces alight with anticipation, disappeared into the train's emerald embrace. Their laughter, their unadulterated joy, was a stark contrast to the storm brewing within him. The scar on his forehead throbbed, a dull ache that mirrored the unease coiling in his gut. A year had passed since the fall of Voldemort, a year of fragile peace that felt more like a reprieve. Ginny stood beside him, her hand intertwined with his, her presence a soothing balm on his troubled soul. Her fiery hair blazed under the station's enchanted ceiling, her brown eyes reflecting his own turmoil. She squeezed his hand, a silent acknowledgement of the emotions swirling within him. Ron and Hermione were nearby, their faces etched with concern as they watched him. They too sensed the shift in him, the return of the shadows that had haunted him for so long. "You all right, mate?" Ron asked, his brow furrowed with worry. His hand rested on Harry's shoulder, a gesture of comfort that spoke volumes of their unspoken bond. Harry managed a weak smile, nodding as he attempted to dispel the cloud of apprehension that clung to him. "Just thinking about everything," he replied, his voice lacking its usual enthusiasm. Hermione, ever perceptive, saw through his facade. "It's never easy, is it?" she murmured, her gaze filled with understanding. "The memories, they linger." Her words struck a chord within him, for they echoed the unspoken fears that gnawed at his peace. The war might be over, Voldemort vanquished, but the scars, both physical and emotional, remained. They were a constant reminder of the price of victory, the sacrifices made, the lives lost. Mrs. Weasley bustled towards them, her round face creased with concern as she enveloped Harry in a hug that spoke of warmth and motherly affection. "You need to eat more, Harry dear," she fussed, her voice tinged with worry as she held him at arm's length, her eyes scanning his face. "You're too thin, all that worry. It's not good for a growing boy." Her concern brought a genuine smile to Harry's lips, a brief respite from the storm within. Mr. Weasley, his face etched with a mixture of pride and apprehension, clapped him on the shoulder. "Write to us when you can, Harry," he said, his voice gruff with emotion, "and don't hesitate to send that owl if you need anything at all. Anything." Their words, their unwavering support, were a beacon of light in the encroaching darkness. For a moment, he allowed himself to be enveloped by their love, to draw strength from their unwavering belief in him. But even as he offered them a reassuring smile, the disquiet lingered. It pulsed beneath his skin, a constant thrumming that whispered of shadows lurking just beyond the edges of his awareness. The train let out a deafening whistle, signaling its imminent departure. It was a call to adventure, a summons back to the castle that had become his sanctuary, his haven. Yet this time, it felt different. This time, the call was laced with a tremor of foreboding, a chilling premonition that whispered of dangers yet to come.